Hi, everyone. I'm Allegra of allegrastein.com or umapwithallegra.com. I am a UMAP master trainer, so I certify people who want to use UMAP as part of their coaching practice, but I also just love talking about coaching in general. I'm an ideator, so I always have lots of ideas, and I share them here with you with hopes that they help on your coaching journey in some way. So, I wanted to talk today about the idea of context and what is the context of our coaching, and also kind of weave it into this idea of like the name of our offer and how some people just say yes to what we do because they want to experience what we do and for no other reason. So, if you think about it, you're a coach, and if you're like, well, what is it you do? And you say, well, I do coaching. We might say that this is the tool. Oh, it's reversed. Well, sorry if that's reversed. It says coaching. We might say that that is the tool that you use, but there's no context, right? It's like, well, I do coaching. Would you like some coaching? There's no reason. Context is like the reason. It's the why. It's the so what. It's so that we can blank. So you might say, well, I do coaching to help you feel more confident. All right. So confidence is the context, right? The context of our coaching is to help you develop confidence, let's say, or the context of our coaching is to help you get a new job or to become a more impactful leader. That's the context of the conversation. A lot of times, it's interesting with coaching because I like to think about the scenario of, let's say you are in mixed company and there are 10 people in front of you. Say you're at a wedding and you went on your own, you don't really know many people, but you're mingling and just kind of talking to people and meeting them. And someone says to you, so what is it that you do? And you say, well, I'm a coach. Maybe you're a life coach. I'm a life coach. 9 out of 10 people are going to say, oh, that's nice. Or they're going to look away, or they're going to say, oh, that's interesting. But every so often, maybe 1 out of those 10 people are gonna lean forward and say, "I've always wanted coaching," right? They just want the thing. But when that happens, I'm always like, "Well, why? Like, what's the context of our coaching? For what reason?" If anyone ever comes to you and they're like, "I really need some coaching," is it just to have it? What for what end? To what end or for what purpose? That is the context. Now, I think as the years have gone on, the coaching industry, I think, has gotten more and more full. I don't know that I'd say it's saturated. Depending on the communities you're spending time in, you're either the only coach in the room or you're one of many. Um, it can feel a little bit watered down where just saying that you're a coach or I do coaching doesn't really mean much to many people. They don't really know what it is, so they don't necessarily engage. But there are some things that you can do if you don't necessarily want to introduce your work as part of a particular context. We might also call that, let's say, an element of your niche. Let's say I do coaching to help people get new jobs, right? That's a little bit more focused. Or I do coaching to help humans navigate divorce. Okay, that's a little bit more specific. But let's say you're like, I don't know, my coaching is for everybody. I love it for all reasons. It can help in that case to kind of introduce what we do with a bit more catchy and unique name. For example, the example that I like to use, it's kind of like if I go to a party and I meet 10 new people and I say, "Oh, I do tarot readings." There's no context. I just tell them my tool. I do tarot readings. Then it's very possible, I suspect, that a percentage of people are going to say, "I want a tarot reading." Right? Tarot can be really fun. And it's even in that moment, if I'm like, okay, let's do a tarot reading, I'm still trying to figure out the context. Like, well, is there something you want this tarot reading for? Or do you just want the tarot reading? Some people just want the tarot reading. Similarly, I certify coaches in a tool called UMAP. UMAP kind of again is up here in this toolkit. It's this really cool assessment. You can learn more about it. My website, umapwithallegra.com, will tell you more about it. I could go to a party and meet 10 new people or a wedding and say, oh, I do UMAP debriefs. I don't tell them why. I don't give them any context. But there might be some people who are like, what is that? And I might tell them a little bit about it. Oh, it shows you your strengths and values and skills and interests. And they might just say, I just want to know my UMAP. I just want to know it. I want to know my UMAP. In that case, the context for delivering and debriefing and administering their UMAP might simply be self-awareness. This is a really, some people just want to know just to know. They want their UMAP, they want to see their strengths, values, skills, and personality interests just so they can be aware of it. And that's totally possible. Coaches who come through the UMAP certification essentially get an out of the box coaching partnership of about 4 sessions where you are delivering very powerful coaching sessions and conversations, helping your client debrief and understand and start to integrate the results of their UMAP assessments. And that's great. If that's all you want to do, I deliver UMAP debrief so that people can have a better sense of self awareness and what makes them tick. I think it's awesome, and I know people would lean into that and want it just for that reason. And you can also take a tool like UMAP or a tool like Tarot or a tool like whatever coaching modality or resource or tool that you like to bring into your work, and you can give it some context. I deliver UMAP debriefs so that a person can what? Apply to colleges that are going to be a best fit for how they like to work, so that they can make decisions around what career path to go down. I do tarot readings for screenwriters to help them navigate and figure out the next step in their script. I give my service some context. So I just wanted to bring these ideas here while they were fresh on my mind. I hope you find them helpful. And again, just invite you to consider the difference between the tool that you use and the context within which you offer it. Both can be really valuable. I will not argue against the idea that if we have both, it can be really helpful. If I can say, well, I do UMAP debriefs for college freshmen to help them pick a major, that's kind of right. People are going to remember that. They're going to kind of associate me and maybe remember me if they happen to meet a family with with a college freshman who's trying to decide what to do next. But if all I wanna do right now, because I don't wanna choose, I'm not exactly sure who it is that I wanna help or what the context is gonna be, there are lots of reasons why I might wanna do it. I can just lean back into, yeah, I do UMAP debriefs. I help people see their strengths, values, skills, and interests. That is something as a UMAP coach you could do if you wanted to bring that tool into your toolbox. But again, whatever tool that you're using, it's possible just to lead with that and have very little context, or maybe just the context of deepening self-awareness. Um, but sometimes people want more than that. Anyway, I hope this has been helpful. Thanks for listening to me kind of capture these ideas. And I'll see you next time. Feel free to leave any comments or questions down below or reach out and say hi. Talk soon.